Okay. Hello, guys. Can you hear me? Am I audible? Charan, Shrikant, Venkatesh.
Yes, you're
Yes,
audible.
you're audible.
Hey guys, so sorry for the delay. Okay, perfect. Okay. Any questions or doubts in the previous class, guys? In the session that we took yesterday for networking concepts? I guess we talked about what public IPs and private IPs are. In today's class, we're going to talk about classes and the necessity of each class. Or again, why do we have 5 separate classes? Why not just one single class with a set of public and private IPs? So let's just wait for 2 more minutes for the others to join. Since these are demos, students might be a bit late. So waiting for all of them to join the session. We'll start the class in 2 minutes.
Sir,
Guys, any questions? Yeah, Abdul, I can hear you. I'm just waiting for the students to join.
yeah, I just joined the session. I thought whether the session hasn't started or not. That's why I was just confirming.
No, I didn't start it yet. I was just waiting for all of you to join. Okay, no problem. Since I guess everyone is here, let's get started without any further ado. Now, in today's class, we're going to talk about the necessity for the 5 different classes, guys. Just give me a second. Just getting a call from the institute. Right, coming back to this. So if you remember, I've told you that there are 2 types of IPs, public and private. And then again, these public and private IPs are again divided in 5 subcategories, classes, class A, B, C, D, and E. Okay, now each of these classes has a range to it, guys. Class A has the first IP at 0000, and it goes up to the last IP 127, 255, 255, 255. Since it is ending at 127, class B starts at 128,000. And from 128, it goes all the way up to 191, 255, 255, 255. Since it is ending at 191, class C starts at 192,000. From 192, it goes up to the value 223, 255, 255, 255. Since it is ending at 223, class D starts at 224,000. From 224, it goes up to 239. And finally, class E starts at 240 and ends at 255. So these are the ranges that have been set by the people who invented IP addresses, guys. So you have to remember these ranges. You have to remember at least these four numbers: 127, 191, 223, and 239. Because from those numbers, you automatically get the next range as well. Class A from 0 to 127, Class B from 128 to 191, Class C from 192 to 223, Class D from 224 to 239, and Class E from 240 to 255. Here's the first IP, 0000, and here's the last IP, 255, 255, 255, 255. Okay. Oh, just a second. Guys, can you hear me properly? Again, I'm speaking a bit low today, guys, because I kind of met with an accident today while coming back home on the way back. So unable to speak much. So it's quite a terrible day. So I hope I'm audible. I am speaking a bit low, Charan. I'm unable to speak much, but I hope it's audible. I'm so sorry. Okay, right. So now coming back to this. So as I've told you, these are the ranges for each class, class A, B, C, D, and E. Again, in each class, you have public and private IPs. Even for that, there's a certain range. So between 0 and 127 in class A, there's a small range, 10,000 to 10,255, 255, 255. This is the private IP range in class A. Any IP within this range is a private IP by default. And any IP outside this range is a public IP. Okay, so this IPs belonging within this range in class A are always private IPs. Similarly, between class B, between 128 and 191, there's a small range, 172.16.00 to 172.31.255.255. Any IP within this range is a private IP again, and any IP outside that range is a public IP. Similarly, in class C as well, between 192 and 223, there's a small range, 192.168.00 to 192.168.255.255. This is the private IP range in class C. Any IP within it is a private IP. Any IP outside of it is a public IP. If this is not clear, let me give you an example. So we take the example of class A. Class A starts at the first IP 0000, and it goes up to the last IP 127, 255, 255, 255. This is the complete range of class A. Okay. Now in this complete range, there's a small sub range, you could say, or smaller range for private IPs from 10,000 to 10,255, 255, 255. This is the private IP range, guys, in class A. Now any IP within this is a private IP, and any IP outside this range is a public IP again. Okay, so again, public IP will start from 0000 and it will go up to 10, which is 9,255,255,255. And after that, you have this private IP range, and after 10, from 11 to 127, that's the next public IP range. So on either sides, you have sets of public IPs, and in between, you have a small set of private IPs. And that works the same way, guys, for all the classes, class A, B, and C. Why class A starts with 127? No, children. Class A starts with 0 and ends with 127. So that has been set with something called a parity bit. Okay, so this 127, this 191, 223, 239, these numbers were decided with a value called parity bit. Okay, so that's the reasoning for it. But we won't be going in that depth, like what that parity bit is, how you got these numbers, because that is quite an advanced concept. You don't need to again get in that depth. But if you remember these four numbers, that should be sufficient. Okay. Is that clear? So if time permits, you can try to search about this, Charan. What is this parity bit and how you got these numbers? You can do a bit research on that. But for now, just remember, these are the values for the classes, the range for classes. Okay. Is that clear? Charan, any questions? Okay. Any questions for others, guys? Abdul, Shrikant, Venkatesh, Ramji, regarding the public and private IP ranges or the class ranges?
Yes.
Okay. If this is clear, what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to write down 10 random IPs, guys. And this is going to be like an exercise for you, a good fun exercise for you to figure out which IP belongs to which category. So I would want you to look at these ranges here and then give me the answers, which IP belongs to, again, which class, and then whether it's public or private. So let me write down the IPs first. 10, 20, 30, 40, 192, 168.0.4, 172, 35, 45, 55. Okay, how many have I written down? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, perfect. So I've written down 10 random IPs here, guys. What I want you to do is I want you to look at each IP address and first tell me which class it belongs to, whether it belongs to class A, B, C, D, or E. Okay, and after that, from that, you have to tell me whether it belongs to the private IP or a public IP. So let me give you the examples for the first two values, and then you can give me the answers for the rest. So the first number, the first IP I have here is 10.20.30.40. So all you have to do is look at the first octet, 10. Where is it falling under? Is it falling between 0 and 127? Yes, it falls between the number 0 and 127. So that denotes that this is class A. We know that for sure. Now, once you know that it belongs to class A, you would have to look at this range. Okay, so the private IP range in class A. Is it falling under this range now? Between 10.0.0.0 and 10.255.255.255. So for it to be a private IP, it needs to, the first number should be 10 and the remaining number should be anything between 0 and 255. And here we have 10, 20, 30, 40. So this satisfies that range. So therefore, this is a private IP. Okay. For a private IP to belong to class B, first number should be 172. Second number should be between 16 and 31, as you can see. And the remaining two octets can be anything between 0 and 255. And for class C, first number should be 192, as you can see. Second number should be 168. Okay, and the third and fourth numbers should be anything between 0 and 255. So these are the conditions for an IP to be private IP. Okay, so now if you look at this number, let's say 192, 170, 180.190. First number 172, where does it fall under? It falls between class C 192 and 223. So this is a class C address. Now in class C, is this a private IP or a public IP? First number should be 192, that is satisfied. Second number should be 168, if you notice. But here we have 170, which means this is not a private IP, it's a public IP instead. So this is how you can categorize which IP belongs to which class and whether it's public or private from this range, guys. Okay. So can you give me the answer for the next one, guys? 192.168.0.4. Any answers? Which class does it belong to and whether it's public or private?
Private IP, second one.
Okay, but class, guys, first tell me the class. A, B, or C, or D, or E.
Class C.
Perfect answer. So class C. And then this is a private IP. Perfect. Next number.
It's a class
170.
B,
Class B. Perfect.
class public IP.
Public IP. Correct answer. Why is this a public IP, guys? First number is 172, as you can see. That's perfectly fine. But the second number should
The
be
range
between 16 and 31.
31.
Yeah, but we have 35 here, which is outside the range. And therefore, that is why it's a public IP. Next number, guys, 20.12.12.13.
Public class A.
Okay. Class A, perfect. And it's a public IP. Correct answer. Next one.
223, maybe class A.
Class A public count.
Class A, are you sure?
Class C 192 raised to 223.
Right,
Ending
Class
with
C. And it's public or private?
public.
Perfect answer. Next IP.
Next also public.
Okay. Which class to?
Class A. Which class A?
Perfect. Class A and public. So sorry for that. Yeah. Next answer, guys.
Class C public.
Class C, are you sure?
Class B.
Yeah,
Class B.
class B. Yeah, because it's 172, guys. 172 falls between 128 and 191. Public or private?
Public IP.
Public IP, correct answer. Next number, guys.
172 30. Public IP. Class B.
Class B, perfect. But are you sure it's public?
172 30. Private IP. Between the
Yeah,
range class B.
yeah, it's between 16 and 31. So this is a private IP instead. Next number.
220.
Class D.
Class D, okay,
Public.
perfect. So whatever IP belongs to class D and E, there are no private IPs in them. All of them are public IPs itself. Okay. So this is how you would look at an IP and figure out, guys, whether an IP is public or private and which class it belongs to. Okay. It's quite necessary or very important that you remember these ranges, guys. So as soon as you look at an IP, even without, looking at this range, you have to figure out whether it's a public IP or a private. So you have to remember these ranges for that. Okay. Just give me a second, guys. Give me a minute. So sorry for that, guys. Now, I've already shown you how to check your public and private IP, if you remember, in the last class. So if you want to check your public IP, all you have to do is go to your browser, and in the browser, search for what is my IP. And this shows you your actual public IP. So if you notice here, I get the IP 49.204.239.60. Can you tell me which class it belongs to, guys? 49.204.239.60.
Class A public IP.
Perfect. Okay. And if I check my private IP now, I have to go to command prompt for that. In the command prompt, I can run the command ipconfig. And when I hit enter, I get the IP 192.168.0.5. Can you tell me which class it belongs to, guys?
Class C private IP.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, so it belongs to class C within this range. And therefore, it's a private IP. Okay, so that is how you figure it out, guys. Okay. Now the main question is, why do we have 5 separate classes? Why not just one single class? Okay, and with some set of public and private IPs. So the reason why you have separate classes is because, guys, in order to reduce the wastage of IPs. Okay, and that is done with something called network and host portions. So the main difference in each class is that class A has, first class A has one network portion and it has 3 host portions. Okay, I'm going to explain in a bit what these network and host portions are, guys. Don't worry. Class B has 2 network portions and 2 host portions. Class C has 3 network portions and 1 host portion. Class D and Class E do not have any host portions at all. All of them are network portions itself. So if you notice over here, as you're going down the line, the network portions are increasing in number. So Class A has 1 network portion, Class B has 2 network portions, Class C has 3 network portions, Class D and Class E have all network portions itself. There are no host portions in them. Now, to explain what these network and host portions are, I'm going to take the example of Class C first, where in Class C you have 3 network portions and only 1 host portion. Okay. So if you remember in Class C, the first private IP starts at 192.168.0.0. So I've written down the same IP here, 192.168.0.0. Now out of these 4 portions, I've told you Class C contains 3 network and 1 host. So the first 3 portions, 192, 168, and 0, belong to the network portions, and the last portion belongs to host. Now, what I mean by network and host portions is that, so if you, in your network, if you're using a Class C IP, the last portion denotes what host it is in that network. So this could be my router, the first device. This could be my laptop, the second device. This could be my mobile phone, the third device. This could be my smartwatch, the fourth device. Like that, I can connect up to 255 devices. Okay, and all of these still belong to the same network, the 192.168.0 network. So the network portion basically defines the identity for the network. Okay, it gives you the ID for the network. So this is the 192.168.0 network, in which each of these is an individual IP given to each and every individual system in the network. But as soon as a network portion changes, so after 0255, what happens? The next IP is 10. So this 255 cycles back to 0, and this 0 becomes 1. So then you have 10, 11, 12, 13, up to 1255. So whenever the network portion changes from 0 to 1, the network divides over there. Now these IPs belong to a different network altogether. So even if you physically bring a device with this IP and connect it with a LAN cable in this network, it will still not be able to communicate because this IP belongs to a different network region. Okay. Similarly, after from 10 to 1255, you have the next network 20 to 2255. So when 1 changes to 2, the network divides again. When 2 changes to 3, the network divides again. Like that, in each Class C network, where you have 3 network portions and 1 host portion, you can connect a maximum of 255 devices, a total of 255 devices in each network. Okay, so the host portion defines how many devices can you connect in that network, and the network portion defines how many octets you're giving to identify that network. Okay, is that clear, guys? Yeah, Venkatesh, go ahead. Any questions?
How can you understand total of 255 hosts per class C?
Yeah, if you notice over here, as I've told you, Venkatesh, first host is 0.1, second host 0.2, third 0.3, fourth 0.4. This goes on all the way up to 0255. After 0255, what happens? The 0 changes to 1. So whenever a network portion is changing, the network divides over there, which means this network is ending over here. Okay, and the next IP starts the next network. So if you notice, in every network, you're only having 1 host portion there. With that 1 host portion, you can change that 1 host portion only 255 times, not more than that. That's the only cycle. Okay, so no matter what network you take, 0 dot network, 1 dot network, 2 dot network, in each network you have maximum 255 devices. Okay, is that clear? I'm ignoring the 0th IP, guys. That's why I'm saying 255. If you include the 0th IP as well, you would have 256 IPs. Okay, is that clear, Venkatesh?
Yes, it's clear.
Was someone else asking a question? Shrikant, any questions on your end? Okay, assuming there are no questions, let's go to the next class now, guys. Let's talk about class B. Now in class B, you have 2 network portions and 2 host portions, if you notice. Same logic, guys. Okay, whatever logic you repeated for class C, that will also repeat for class B, but with a minor variation. Okay, so again, as long as the network portions are same, all IPs will belong to the same network. Okay, so the first IP is 172.16.0.0. This is the first private IP. Then you have 0.1, then 0.2, then 0.3, then 0.4, then 0.5. This goes on all the way up to 0.255. After that, what happens? Then you have 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, goes up to 1255, then 20, 21, 22, 23, up to 2255. Like that, the cycle keeps on repeating. And somewhere down the line, you'll have 2550, 2551, 2552, 2553, 255254, and 255255. Now, once both these octets are filled, what happens? This 16 now changes to 70. Same logic. As long as the host portions are changing, it doesn't matter. Each of these IPs is just given to each and every individual host in the same network. The network is 172.16.network. As soon as the network portion changes from 16 to 70, that denotes that the network has ended there. Okay, so this is the last IP in the network, and from here there's a new network starting. Okay, similarly, when 17 changes to 18, that's the next network. 18 to 19, that's the next network. Now in each network, how many devices are we able to connect, guys? You have two host portions. So from 00 to 255, all these belong to same network. And since there are two host portions, the maximum devices that you can connect is 255 into 255. And that would give you a number 65525 devices. So in a class B network, you have a possibility of connecting exponentially more devices, okay, which is equal to 65,000 devices. In class C, you can only connect 255 maximum, not more than that. But in class B, you can connect 65,000 devices. How did we get this number? You have two host portions. So for two host portions, you would get 255 into 255, total number of IPs. Is that clear, guys? Any question or confusion?
How many words are there? That means we need to multiply 255 into 255. For example, three words
Yeah,
are there three times, huh?
that's it, exactly. So if you take the example of class A now, class A has one network portion and three host portions. So from 10.0.0.0 all the way up to 10.255, 255, 255, all these IPs belong to the same network. Okay. And when 10 changes to 11, the network divides over there. Okay. And since you have three host portions, you can connect a maximum of 255 into 255 into 255 devices. Okay. That's okay. The total number
We
of
no
IPs,
need
if you
to we no need to
catch it.
count network portions.
Definitely not,
Only
because the network portion, as I've mentioned, is the identity for the network. So this is the 192.168.0.network. This is the name for the network, and this is the number for the network, and this is the number for the host. Okay, this is the first host, the second host, the third host, fourth host. All of these belong to the same network, 192.168.0 network. Okay, after 255, the network divides. So the next network is 192.168.1.network. Okay. In the one dot network, this is the first IP, second IP, third IP, fourth IP, and so on and so. So whenever there's a network portion, that explains the identity for the network, the name for the network. And the host portion denotes what host it is or what device it is in that network. Okay. Or how many devices can you connect in a total in that network. Okay. Is that clear, guys? Any questions?
yeah. It's clear.
Shrikant, Ramji, Venkatesh. Okay. Now, from this, you can understand, guys, in each network now, in each class, there's a difference in the total number of devices you're able to connect. So class C can be used for smaller networks. So your home purpose network or your small organizations, okay, can use class C networks because you don't have a necessity for connecting more than 255 devices. So in my home network, I hardly have 5 or 6 devices. So for those 5 or 6 devices, class C is more than sufficient, where you have the possibility to connect 255 devices actually. Okay. Class B and Class A have the capability of connecting more than 255 devices. Okay, like 255 into 255 or 255 into 255 into 255, and therefore they can be used for much larger organizations or multinational companies. So again, multinational companies or ISP organizations, these companies use Class B and Class A private IPs. Class D and Class E do not have any private IPs, guys. All of them are unique public IPs, and each public IP is specifically assigned for special organizations such as research and development organizations, military organizations, government organizations or government portal websites, okay, or for broadcasting services, news broadcasting. So these organizations have access to Class D and Class C. They are not given to normal public. So people like you and me who just belong to the normal people or the normal public cannot use Class D and Class C. They are specifically allocated for these special organizations or unique organizations. Okay, is this clear, guys? Where do we use each class? That's why in my home network, if you remember, my IP for my device was 192.168.0.4, okay, or 0.5. So I'm using a Class C network here. Why specifically Class C? Because in my home network, I don't have a necessity to connect more than 255 devices. That's why I'm preferring a smaller Class C network. Okay, if I want a much bigger range, if I have more than 255 devices to connect, if I have like 500 or 600 devices, I can't use Class C there. Class C limit is only up to 255. So for such higher limits like 500, 600 or 1000 devices, I have to go for Class B or Class A. Okay, is that clear, guys? Any questions? Anyone? Ramji, Venkatesh, Shrikant, Charan.
Example, I have 400 computers. That time I need to use.
Yeah, for 400 computers, if you remember in Class C, Charan, you can only connect maximum to 55 devices, not more than that. So when you want to connect 400 devices, you have to go with a much larger class, Class B. Class B, you have a choice of connecting up to 65,000 devices. So for that, you can use Class B. You can also use Class A if you want. Okay, there's no issue with that. Okay, whenever you want to use a class, it should contain the maximum limit of the devices you want to connect. So when you want to connect 400 devices, you should be able to communicate with Class B and Class A. Okay. Class C cannot be used because it is maximum limit of 255 only. Okay. So you can use any of them, either Class B or Class A. Any one of them will work.
Okay.
If you want to connect more than 65,525 devices, then you can't even use Class B. Okay, because if you want to connect 70,000 devices, let's say, in that scenario, you can't use Class C and Class B also, because Class B has the upper limit of 65,000. So for that scenario, when you're connecting 70,000 devices or something, you would have to go with Class A, which is a much larger number compared to Class B and Class C. Okay, is that clear, Charan?
It is clear.
Perfect. So yeah, that's that, guys. Again, I'm ending the class a bit short today, guys, because as I've mentioned, I just met with a kind of a minor accident, so I'm unable to speak much today. So I'll just get some rest, and tomorrow we'll continue the remaining concepts. We'll try to complete the networking concepts tomorrow. So that again, we have a few more topics left out, such as what is subnet mask, what is default gateway, what is DHCP protocol, what is again DNS protocol. We'll talk about all these concepts in the next session. Okay, so yeah, that's it, guys. Nothing further. Please join tomorrow as well. Tomorrow is going to be the last demo for certified ethical hacking. From Monday, the link is going to change, because from Monday we're going to start the practical classes. We'll learn how to install the practical lab setup from Monday. So if you have not made the payment yet, guys, please do make the payment by this weekend, because as I've mentioned, you will not have access to the link from Monday unless and until you have registered for the course. Okay, so that's it.
Example,
Nothing further.
after
Yeah.
class, how much time required to practice?
Depends on your again time availability, Charan. I would recommend at least like 1 hour or so. Try to do your research on these IPs or the concepts that I teach you, or practice them. Max to max at least 1.5 hour, not more than that. Okay,
Basically, I'm working in other technology.
right. Again, you
I'm
can, if time permits, you can try to practice all the concepts that we learn over the weekend as well, Charan, because on weekend we don't have classes. So both on Saturday and Sunday, it's an off. So we have classes only from Monday to Friday for every day for around 40 minutes or so, 40 to 45 minutes. Okay. So again,
basically
you can
I'm yeah,
yeah,
I'm very much interested to know the about cyber attacks. That is the reason I am learning.
right. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I,
again, Charan, I hope you have gone through the demo. I hope you have attended the workshop on Sunday or the demo on Monday. If you have not, I would recommend you go to the official channel of YouTube, I mean of DurgaSoft and YouTube. and access the demo there. I've explained what all topics we learn in cybersecurity, what tools we are going to cover in cybersecurity, in a very brief manner in that demo. So if you want to learn the course content of the course, or if you want to learn what tools we'll work on, or again what type of pen testing we'll learn, so you can just go through that video on YouTube. Okay.
Sure,
So
sure.
please do join the demo tomorrow as well. We'll complete the networking concepts. Okay. And once you register for the course, you can continue from Monday as well. Okay. So again, guys, the
Yeah.
course is priced at 8,000 rupees. Again, frankly speaking, it is
How
a
much?
lot less compared to other institutes. I teach for a few institutes in Mumbai and in Bangalore as well. And I'm the same instructor, the course content is same, but still they're charging around 25 to 30,000 for the same course.
How much
Your price
course fee?
in other institutes, Charan, it's around 25 to 30,000. In DurgaSoft, it is just 8,000 rupees, 8,000 Indian currency. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's that, guys. Nothing further. Again, please do register for the course by making the payment of 8,000. Again, from Monday, we'll start the practical classes. Tomorrow, we'll be completing the networking concepts. So please do join the demo tomorrow as well. Okay. Bye-bye. Have a good night. And I'll see you tomorrow at the same time, guys.
Yeah, thank you. Good night.
Guys, bye-bye.
Take care, sir.
Thanks, Venkatesh. Bye-bye.